Tara, I'm gonna bring the computer up in a second. And it's out for the teachers. Okay, good morning. Hopefully you're on the live stream link. Thanks, ladies, for being here that are in the room. We're going to be on our last day of Schoology training. I know you're devastated that you don't get to do this for more days of your life. And I know that for some of you, you're looking at this and like, oh my gosh, one more day of this. But I promise you, this is all to help you for later on in the year. So please stay in for this last time as we wrap up in our Schoology training and just walk through some of the other core pieces that you might need to know. This is an area, what we're talking about today is areas that we actually get a lot of questions on. So things that we're talking about is the final pieces of different types of submissions. And then we're talking about viewing feedback, which this one I know that, that Dr. Stone has talked a couple times about having people ask about where they can see feedback and things, but our teachers have a great opportunity to put feedback into Schoology for you to see on tests or quizzes, on written work, different things that are turned in. So you want to know where to find that. This is also important for submissions, getting feedback on a submission so you have an opportunity to possibly resubmit. So there's things in here we're going to go over. So please stay with us today. I promise we will make sure it's valuable for you as we go through. But today I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Stone to walk us through some of the next pieces of our Schoology training.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we are, once again, if you are in the Schoology page, we're going to go down where it says Safe Landing in Module 4. You can join me there, but I also want to invite you to, as I'm talking about various things, to poke around through Schoology. We're going to talk about today audio and video submissions, but most of our time is going to be spent on how to view teacher feedback. You have not had very many days of school, so you may or may not have already received feedback, but I want you to be able to poke around in that process. So within Safe Landing, where it says creating and submitting assignments, really quick, I want to point out to you, there's a couple of videos on scanning an assignment using the Notes app. If you have an iPhone and you have a Notes app, that's actually a really easy way to scan assignments in. We're not going to watch that section or go through it, but I want you to know that it's there. One important thing to note, if you are, for instance, taking a picture of math homework, please do not stand far away from your phone holding the page. Okay, that would not be wise. Your teacher cannot read it. So use something like this app to help you. You want to lay your homework down, take a clear picture so that your teacher can grade it and give you feedback. But I'm going to go down here where it says using audio and video submissions. Now, this is actually really something fun. I like doing this with my class as well, especially now that we have to wear masks. It's nice to see your faces. This is only something you do if your teacher allows it. So if your teacher allows you to do a video submission, it's a huge time saver and a lot of fun. So we're going to watch the video on how to do that. Before I push play, though, let me remind you, you must be in Chrome for this to work. So let's just say right now, go ahead and look at your page. Make sure that you are in lca.schoology.com and that you are using Chrome as your browser.
If your teacher allows it, Schoology will let you do an audio or video submission for any type of assignment. So let's take a second and just look at one example to see how this works. I'm going to go into this discussion board. Now right here, you can see that the teacher has assigned a video. It says, you are the expert. Research something interesting about World War II that we aren't officially covering in class, and then do a video to tell us briefly what you learned. And then you're supposed to respond to somebody else's video. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually click where it tells me to write, and when it pulls up this panel that gives me all my tools, there's also at the bottom a little microphone, and if you hover over that, it says audio video recording. I'm going to click on this, and now I have two options. If I chose audio only, I'm going to click on it, it would pull up this box, and I simply start recording. And as you can see, there's a little timer at the top that tells you that it started and tells you how much time has lapsed. So if your teacher says that you need to do at least a 30-second audio recording, then that way you know how much time has been passed. You would stop recording, it would take a second to upload, and then you would just push insert. But for this particular assignment, I'm supposed to be doing a video. So I'm going to click on it, go to audio and video, and what you'll see is my face pulled up. I can start recording, and once again, I know it started recording when that little timer at the top starts counting down the time for me. So I'm going to do my video, and then I will push stop recording. The lovely facial expression. Make sure you smile when you push stop recording. It's going to take a second to upload. Now, videos take a little bit longer to upload than audio files do, depending on your Wi-Fi. At school, it will probably be faster than when you are at home. Once it has finished doing its processing, you're going to go over here where it says Insert Recording. I'm going to click that button, and you'll see it shows up there. Now, on this, it's a discussion board. It's still going to require me to post something there, some kind of word. A simple thing to do is I can literally just push the space bar if all my teacher's requiring is the video itself, or I can say, I researched Operation Pied Piper, which is what I would have done a video on, and then posted it. And once again, it's going to have this little arrows that says the file is being converted into a viewable format. And so you're not going to be able to view it just yet, but if you wait, after a period of time, and you might have to refresh your screen, but you will actually see your video. And so when somebody goes in, like your teacher, they can simply push play, start recording, and once again, I know it started recording, and they can see your voice. So this is a great tool that will help make assignments a little bit more engaging, more fun for you. However, let me reiterate one more time that if this is a writing assignment, you don't necessarily want to do a video or audio recording. So make sure that you clear with your teacher what kind of submission they want before you submit something in audio video format.
Okay, that was fun, the loud noise. And once again, I hope my facial expression there reminded you to smile before you push stop, because otherwise you'll be staring at your face looking like that. But this is, once again, a really fun way that your teachers might have for you to respond to an assignment. I want to point out before we move on to feedback that there's also information in here about resubmitting assignments if you have to submit multiple files, or even if you need to add comments to your assignment. We encourage you to go in and watch that video on your own time. But right now I want to actually go into the viewing teacher feedback. And this is the time when, if you have had assignments so far that your teachers have provided feedback on, this is a good time to poke around in these various assignments while you're watching these videos, just to kind of see what type of feedback your teacher left. So we're going to start by seeing how you even know if your teacher has left feedback on an assignment.
You can see when your teacher has graded something, either by going to Grades and accessing the gradebook, or oftentimes by just clicking on the notifications if you have notifications set. You can see here a new grade was posted for a short answer analysis, but you also see that the teacher has posted comments for 2 of these assignments. So let's take a second and look at what it actually looks like to view teacher feedback in various types of assignments.
All right, so we're actually going to walk our way through a couple of different types of assignments. So the first one is the actual assignment itself, and this is important because your teacher, especially maybe in English, you might have an opportunity to put a draft in, and your teacher might provide you feedback before the assignment is due. So I want to show you what type of feedback your teacher might have for you. So pay attention especially to the notations on the feedback or on the assignment itself.
On occasion, your teacher might provide feedback on an assignment that's not due yet. So let's take this World War II essay. It's not due for a few days, and I know that my teacher, I've already submitted a draft, and I know that my teacher has provided feedback because I see down here that the teacher put a submission comment. So in order to see that teacher's feedback, I'm going to click on the essay. And right here, I can go ahead and see there's the instructions, the rubric, and I'm going to click right here where it says Assignment Submitted. and it's going to pull up the essay that I submitted, the rough draft. And I had left a note for my teacher that this is my rough draft, and I'm having trouble figuring out what needs to be cut down to get it to 3 paragraphs, because that was one of the teacher's directions. So the first thing my teacher did is they left me a note. It says, you found a lot of great information. Be sure to put in citations, fix grammar mistakes, but I think you need to pick a theme. And so my teacher left me some feedback on what to do. But my teacher also made notations on the essay itself. So first, you see there's some highlighted text. Those are words that I misspelled. My teacher drew right here and put a star, and I can click on the sticky note and see that, oh, she says she loves this stuff, so that's important for me to keep in. If I look at this sticky note, she reminded me to not forget to put a citation for the quote. So from here, what I can do is I can take these comments, I can go back to my paper, I can finish my draft, and I can resubmit a final draft before the due date to receive my final grade.
All right, I hope you thought that was cool. There's a lot of different ways that you can get feedback before an assignment is due. But when your assignment is graded, now let's go there and talk about how you actually view comments that your teacher has left on a graded assignment.
When your teacher has graded your assignment, there's a few ways that you can look at both the teacher comments on the final version as well as your rubric if the teacher used a rubric to grade it. So one of the first things you can do is go into the assignment itself. And so I'm going to go straight to the assignment, which was my World War II essay. And you'll see up here at the top it says I got 17 out of 20. But pay attention to what's next to it. This little bubble right here, if I click on it, it shows me the rubric that my teacher used to grade me. And so it shows me that I was only satisfactory in providing the 3 full paragraphs, but that I got full points for accuracy, citations, and research, and pretty good when it came to grammar and professionalism. I can also click this little, what looks like a little thought bubble right here. Actually, not even click it, you just hover over it, and I can read my teacher's comments. Said, I'm so proud of the work you put into this, as well as the revisions you completed. I learned a lot reading your paper. Great job. So that's one way to look at it. Another way you can look at it is going up here to grades and clicking on grade report. I have to pick the class that I want, and here you go. There's my essay right here. It's in the Tier 1 category. Once again, it shows me 17 out of 20. And right here, I can click on the rubric, which will show up again, and see the comments listed out to the side. One other easy place to go is if you go back inside your course that has grades on the side, and I can click on that and see the exact same thing as well. All of the grades for that course, including that individual grade for that assignment with the rubric, where I can click, as well as the teacher's comments.
All right, so that's what you do with an assignment. The rest of these are very similar. So if your teacher ever has you do a discussion board, your teacher can leave you feedback on the discussion board. So let's take a look and notice the similarities. Schoology uses the same emblems, the same symbols for rubrics and for teacher comments.
To view feedback on a discussion, there's a couple of ways you can do it. First, you can go to the actual assignment itself. So this is a debate that I submitted an assignment to, or a comment on. And I can go down and there is my feedback or my comment on the debate. And you'll see up here, I can see that I got an 85 out of 100. If my teacher had used a rubric, I would see the little boxes off to the side where I could click on it. But in this case, my teacher didn't use a rubric. Instead, they left me a comment, which I know right here because of that thought bubble. I can hover over the thought bubble and see what my teacher had to say. But other ways you can do it are either by clicking grades up here and going to your grade report, or going over here to the left side of your screen where it says grades. And I can go down and see Unit 15 debate. I got an 85 out of 100, and I can view my teacher's comments there. Once again, if my teacher had used a rubric, I would see those little dots, or I guess the squares off to the side, and I would have been able to click on that.
All right, I hope you're taking an opportunity to poke around your gradebook, see what comments teachers might have left you so far. We're going to go down and look at audio video feedback. So some of us teachers have really played around with this because it's a fun way for you to see our face and hear our voice when we are giving you feedback. And so let me show you what that might look like on your assignments as well.
Sometimes in a basic assignment that might not even be graded, such as this bell ringer right here, your teacher might leave you feedback on what you've done. And you know that from your notifications. If you have them set well, you know that the teacher has posted an assignment submission comment. So I'm going to go and view what that submission comment is. I'm going to click on my bell ringer assignment. I'm going to come over here to view the assignment that I submitted. And I'm going to see over here that my teacher has left me a video recording. Teachers can either leave text comments, video recording, or audio recording comments. To view video recording or to listen to an audio recording, it's super simple. All you do is click this button right here that says view. So I'm going to click that. It'll pull up a box that can see my teacher's face, and I can click play.
And I'm actually not going to play that one for volume's sake and because it's not my best moment. But you get the idea. So there's also a way that you can view feedback on tests. Several of you have had teachers do tests on Schoology, and you might want to go back and look at the test to see what the correct answer is, or if there was a comment, like a submission, a write-out section of the test, your teacher might even have put the correct answer there for you. Now, an important thing to know, I'm actually going to go into a course and show you what this might look like. So we're going to go into my U.S. history class, for instance. Hey, guys. And they just recently did something for me where they had to make a video for me. And so this video, actually, let me go back. I'm going to view the course as a student now. Actually, I should do that really fast. View course as, I'm going to be Abigail. I didn't tell you this, Abigail, but thank you for volunteering. So this is what the course looks like to Abigail. And so she can actually go back in to this assignment. It was called You Unmasked. And she did a video for me. And so it shows that she submitted it. This was not something I graded, which is why it said 0 out of 0. But if she wants to see the comment I left, she can actually go in where it says View Assessment. And look, I've left a comment right at the bottom. So glad to have you in class, with a little smiley face. This is not always intuitive to us to go back into our assessments and look, but I want you to know that this is there. The one caveat, and this is important, if your teacher has assigned one of these test quizzes as daily work, usually they will already make it available where you can go in and view comments. However, if this was an actual test, your teacher may have turned off the comment area. You might not be able to go in and view that until perhaps the next class when the entire class is viewing it together. The teacher has control over the settings and what they're going to do with that. But I want you to know that that is there. And so hopefully, if you have been going through life here at Legacy, printing things in on Schoology, but never knowing what your teacher thought about them, hopefully now you have a few ideas of ways that you can go in and check to see your teacher's feedback and how you can use that to further your education. I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Hannah.
Thank you, Dr. Stone. So I hope this gave you a good starting point. I just want to go over one last thing, and then we're actually going to wrap up a little early today. I know you're sad that we're coming to a close, but one piece I want you to know, and this is because we've had a lot of questions about how to submit things, especially like math assignments, if you have to write them out on paper, and how do you get those turned in and things like that. And so in here under the Safe Landing Module 4, and creating and submitting assignments, for those of you that have an iPhone, this is actually, everything is built into your phone. If you have an Android, it's a little bit different, but there's still features for this too. But so scanning an assignment using the Notes app, Dr. Stone talked about this in here. But in here, this actually does a walkthrough for how to do this and how you can actually create an assignment, a PDF that you're going to share by just using the Notes app on your phone. This is especially important for anything that is asked for work and pictures of work. And the reason we say this is because we have gotten pictures of work where somebody is standing holding their work out like this and asked mom or dad to take a picture, and it's very, very hard to read. So you want it to be a picture of the work itself, not you, even though you're great. but just to make sure that's done, In Here has a really great step-by-step walkthrough for the Notes app. On Android, you can actually use your phone to use it to scan for a single picture, and there's a couple other ways to do for multiples. So some things, there's other great apps that are related to that. Tiny Scanner is what I use for my grad work, and to scan in everything, all my assignments. There's different ones out there, but just know, essentially, the piece that we want you to know is this course is here for you if you've got questions. So instead of not knowing how to do something or wondering how to do something, if you want to figure out how to use, say, how to find feedback, this is when you would go into your Schoology course and check and make sure that you watch those videos again just to see how to access it. It's there for you for a resource going forward. The other piece is make sure, please, if you didn't do the Google Drive or all the different types of submissions yesterday, today is a really good time to make sure those are done. There's a lot of those that are missing. And the reason is not because they're graded, but it's just to make sure you know how to submit, especially using Google Drive, making sure that's connected, and uploading a document from your computer. So please, please do that today. Otherwise, we are wrapped up for our Schoology training. If you've got questions, please don't hesitate to let somebody know. We're here to help you, and we want to make sure you're successful in Schoology and in school all this year. So thank you for taking the time, and you've got a few minutes left to hang in advisory, and have a great day.